Good morning, professional photographers of Idaho and beyond. I'm Bob Ryder.
I'm Sam Marvin.
You're Sam Marvin.
I'm Sam Marvin.
And how long has it been since we've been on the set together?
It's been a long time.
Yeah,
since 2020, I think.
20, very early 2020.
Yeah, like right at the pandemic.
I'm going to jump over here. You talk for a minute. I'm going to jump over here, YouTube, make sure that's popping.
Okay. What's up, everybody? Excited. I'm really excited to be here. I kind of felt a little bit nervous. I feel like I don't know. It's been so long. So
it's been a while, and
I really like this segment. I'm stoked about it. Like
the what's in my bag.
Yeah, it was a great idea.
This is a great series. Just as soon as I configured my studio to have a dedicated video bay and not have to convert my photography bay, we started this series.
Yeah, and I think it's
and
great.
now I'm doing video over there, and I'm still switching it. But that'll run until I've got us booked out all the way through the July, I think 29th, and then maybe we'll go into August if I get a couple more volunteers.
I'm excited people are volunteering because we've struggled with getting people to just come on and go live.
Yeah, because I gotta do that, and then like Kim was like, I can't avoid it, just do it. I think I got a similar response from Carrie. Carrie's next week,
I'm amazed Carrie's coming. Like, no offense, Carrie. I'm just shocked that you're putting yourself out there on that one.
I think it's terrific.
So
my wife is on. She says good morning.
Hi, Bri.
And
is she coming to lunch today?
Yeah,
of course. My wife will be there.
I'm not in the wheelchair.
That has been good.
I'm bringing my chair pad because it gets uncomfortable.
I thought it was funny. I got a text from you today about your meds. But that's a brilliant idea because like you know what because I've just recently started having to take some medication for diabetes, and I give my dog her medicine at the same time, and I've noticed that like sometimes I'm just going through the motions and I'm like, I haven't taken her meds, have I? Like this whole med thing is like weird for me.
So with the spine stuff that I've had, and Laquita's here. Good morning, Laquita. Man, I'm glad you're back today, sister. With the opiates, with the pain meds, with the spine issues, timing is important because you can killify yourself with opiates. And I asked my doctor, this is like a month ago, I emailed my doctor with their secure messaging system. I said, is this an acceptable long-term play? Like that we're using opiates to control pain long-term? I never got anything back, but they sent an overdose kit in the mail that my wife can stick up my nose and squirt to revive me.
Is that like, is that epinephrine or something like that? No, what's that?
It's the same thing that cops carry for opiate overdose.
Interesting. That's uncomfortable.
I just thought, that's not the great response. I did have a good... Anyway, that's not why we're here today. We are in our What's in My Bag summer series. It's been fun. Larry started us out with his bottomless backpack. I brought my whole location kit in. And then Kim was here last week with her bag.
You know what? My favorite thing about Kim's is like and I'm a disaster a lot of the times. Like I'm not anywhere as organized as you. But looking in her bag, like on the video,
did that make you feel good?
It looked like there was just like she was just like, don't kill me, Kim.
No, one of my first Super One Days, back when PPA was calling them Super One Days, I went to a workshop in Sacramento, and this guy had this very cool studio, and literally his camera bag was like one of our big think tank bags, sitting open, and he just literally threw stuff up there. Like cameras and I'm just like
I've always been envious of how your bag looks when.
You know what?
It always looks good.
I'm probably retentive in that regard, right? Like let's call it what it is, right?
Maybe.
But that's my nature. I went to a school a million years ago in the military. It's called micro miniature electronics repair, and you're working on multi-layer PC boards under magnification. Back when we didn't just swap components out, we actually fixed stuff. So when you're out to sea and you're thousands of miles away from anything, we had a whole parts warehouse on the ship for all of our electronic equipment. All the gear that the military uses is fairly standardized, so we had spare parts for everything, resistors and transistors and capacitors and all that stuff. And but the 3M school, you worked out of one of those big government steel desks with the drawers down the sides. But the drawers were all foam cutouts, and it was. And the rule was you can't have tools on your desktop. It's the tool you are using and your project.
Really?
And
I'd be hosed. I don't like flat spaces because I just stack stuff on it.
You know, we call those hotspots in our household. Because we've got a couple of hotspots where the mail goes, the magazines go, and the kids drop their bottles after soccer practice and all that stuff. It's just
mail is the hardest one for me because I hate opening my mail. In fact, I've just created a new system for how to deal with mail because it piles up.
Yeah.
And so what I've done is I was like, okay, I want you to get the mail regularly. I want you to scan it into Dropbox, put what's important here, shred everything else, and then I just have to go into Dropbox and look at it.
That's brilliant.
And then I don't have all
this
that
pile of
paper sitting on my desk.
I was going to say crap.
Yeah, well, it
detritus.
Is detritus?
Detritus. I think that's the right word. Detritus, is that the right word?
I've ever heard that word in my life.
Yeah, I think it is. My wife is laughing about the hotspots because it's
it gets
she's
bad.
more prone to hotspotting than I am.
Yeah, that would be me. I'm there with you, Brian. Definitely.
And that's what, you know, I think though, like if we just had a whole world of organized minds or a whole world of unorganized minds, it would be chaos.
I'm organized in my own kind of way.
You are, right? You know what you need.
Yeah.
Right?
And but did we not this week when we were doing our class, we were getting ready for class, remember what happened to me? I buy things and then I go buy things again because somebody needs something or I need something, and then this week I found a whole bunch of things that I've already bought.
There's the spare projector.
Yeah.
Oh, I already bought another one of those.
Yeah, and then I found a laminator, and I found like all these things that I just recently bought new things of, and I was like, what the heck? I knew I had those, but
that's kind of funny. We just need to own that and let that be funny. And I'm just going to find your title screen because there it is, your topic. I thought I named you Sam's topic.
So what did you think this week of the class with Brian and Aaron?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, for those who weren't there, you missed out.
Right, you totally missed out
altogether.
And I couldn't. I don't want to make anybody watching feel bad, but
well, I mean, I do. They missed out.
A couple of days. Well, let me back up.
Okay.
I started Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Getting set up. The board came and we set up your studio, got it all looking great. You've got a great space for this too. Projector and all of the tech that was involved in streaming and recording that. So I found that I wasn't as engaged as I'd like to be in the class because I was, especially with Brian's presentation, because he had a lot of slides.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep it interesting with camera angles and slides and introducing things that way. But then my wife and I have already sat down and figured out, because his was the 7/30/90 thing.
Yeah,
right?
and I really like that.
I've already got my 7's done. We already figured that out.
I'm part way through that. Like he sent me a message yesterday, and I was like kind of asked like any feedback, anything, and I was like, well, I'm working on my 7. Like,
we figured that out.
Oh, that's good.
And now we're in our 30. Getting that ready to like give it structure and get the tools we need and build that out. And I'm using what Aaron taught in the afternoon. We don't, and you have an email system.
Yeah.
Right. You have a trick. You have like a feed.
Yeah, we have a pretty
sophisticated funnel.
Yeah.
Right.
But I have it set up for all 5 different businesses.
Right. That's
and
crazy.
They all go to the same place. Yeah, I'm feeling that way right now, Bob.
So I've wondered for a long time, how does that relate to what I do? And
huge.
And I like those dots connected for me at this 2-day workshop.
Yeah.
Of how I can use email to communicate with my clients in a meaningful way. And the age-old question is, okay, if you're a blogger, where does your content come from? Content comes out of me.
Yeah.
Like I'm always making notes because part of that is the lives that we've been broadcasting. We've been doing this for 3 years.
Yeah.
You started this.
Yeah, it was
at your place. I'd drive down there and we'd sit across from each other.
Yeah.
I liked that format. That was fun. And
we went through a lot before we got to like a good clean, and then you took it even further.
Well, and this is where we're at, right? And it will continue to evolve. But I just I naturally have a list of stuff in my Trello because I'm that organized guy. I've done like 70 episodes that we've got recorded on YouTube.
That's great.
And
that was a little tidbit I took from you. I moved all my 7FP stuff over to YouTube because I liked that format and having it somewhere that's searchable and good, because like even that stuff is great for blog content, email content.
That's my whole point.
People ask a question, you can send, hey, you know what? Check this out. I have a video.
I talked about that 3 weeks ago. Here's the video for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that works great for PPI. It works great for our businesses. But the one thing that I want to bring back and that I think people miss out about the whole email concept is that you've heard me talk about this a ton of times. We get customers call in and say, hey, just wanted to see how much are headshots or how much are senior pictures. And then they hang up the phone and you're like, well, I didn't get them. And we write them off. But we don't go back and follow up enough. Sometimes we'll call them back one time and they'll be like, we just haven't made a decision. And us as creatives get this whole imposter syndrome, like, oh, they're done, like they're done. But we've seen so much just in that little bit of recultivation, but just sending out a last email saying, okay, this is it, I'm done. And they're like, oh yeah, I've been meaning
it's
to.
It's that 9-word email.
Yeah, the 9-word email.
The 9-word email concept of.
And you can automate it all.
Right. I'm not as automated as you, and I envy your automation, but the time that it takes to set up the automation is really robust.
It does.
I am using Zapier.
Good.
When somebody books through my appointment system, Zap takes that, populates our Trello, and emails my wife and I.
Yeah.
And that's so valuable to me.
Yeah,
it adds it to our calendar. It does all the things, right? I do have an announcement I wanted to hit. Let me see if I can grab that slide real quick into our system. Dooby-dooby-doo. I know it's up here.
Yeah, and I know that Zapier is one of those things that's daunting for people. I talked about it a couple years ago in systems and automations class that we did for PPI at one of the conventions, I think. It seems daunting, but when you get in, and believe me, I've come up with some bizarre, crazy automations that I decided I was going to do and spent days trying to figure them out. And sometimes they don't.
That's a rabbit hole.
Sometimes they don't work, and it is a rabbit hole. But let me tell you, I've got things that happen now. For instance, like when I do a 7FP live.
See, I know where you're going with this.
I know.
It kills me.
So
go with it.
In fact, I got a message this morning from my guy in, I hate to say it, but in Nigeria, and he's like, hey, just checking in with you. I do a live. I've got everything set up to where when I do my live, I have the intro, the everything play into it. Mm-hmm. He literally gets an automated notification that the live is available in YouTube. He takes it, transcribes it, puts it into my my podcast software, and posts that and publishes it. And it also transcribes it to Word so that Mia can literally go and grab it and make a blog post out of it.
Or snippets of it for social media.
Or snippets of it.
Right?
Now, where we fail, it's gone and done. We're just not doing enough of the work on the back end to make the snippets of social.
That's so hard.
Just because there's so much going on. So right? we just need more people for that. But that's the beauty of. I know it probably people's minds are like, why are we even listening to this? But
no, I don't think so. I think that
I love that stuff. It's what gets me going. So
as creatives, a lot of creatives tend not to concern themselves with the business side and think, I'm just going to say that I'm open and people are going to come. And I have a really simple example of this. When I opened my first retail store, pull the chain, open sign is on.
Wait.
Where is everybody?
Where is everybody? Exactly. Right? And that's all so common.
And that is the case in our industry too. You can't just say, hey, I'm a photographer, I'm open. Actually, I thought Brian did a great job with this. He kept talking about this. I'm a photographer. Needs photography. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
Well, then
you have to know who your audience is, and you have to have a means of targeting your audience. And one of the things that's important for us, because we do on the corporate side of things, but this plays right into the conversation you were just saying, where they've called, they're not ready yet.
Yeah.
I get the emails, the calls, or the texts. I even get stuff through Facebook Messenger. hey, we're thinking about headshots. Can you give me a quote and let me know some availability? And I send it off, and maybe we don't hear back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in my world, if somebody asks me a question or gives me information, I'm going to acknowledge that I received the information. But a lot of times that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So we have a system that
most times
I just reach out to them from time to time.
Yeah.
And say, hey, just circling back. All I want to do is keep my name top of their mind.
Exactly.
And a lot of times with what I do, I get told, oh yeah, I've got a company. Actually, I screwed up really big time.
With what?
I love that. This is a really good story, folks. This is about our human nature. This is about humanity, and this is about how just being yourself. Laquita, you need to hear this. Just being who you are is endearing to people. Okay. Yeah. On Thursday.
Authenticity.
On a Thursday several months ago, let's call it February.
Okay.
On a Thursday, we'd just gotten back from convention. I get a referral for a larger company. They've got about 60 people. They're entertaining the thought of headshots. This is a good account for Bob.
Yeah.
It's a referral from somebody who I know pretty well through the business connections. We meet every week or every other week in a business, sit down with like 8 other people. This is one of my leads group people, and he gives me this great referral. And we planned, hey, I would love to come to your offices, show you my portfolio, and talk to your leadership about what this means for your company and what we can do for you.
Yeah.
Monday, I had emergency surgery. Okay, Tuesday,
Yeah.
I'm stoned out of my mind in the ICU at St. Luke's. And my wife finally is allowed to come in, and I'm like, you need to get my phone, right? And you need to contact people because we've got bookings this week. And
Hey, you weren't going anywhere fast.
I hadn't put that on the calendar. So these people didn't get touched. They didn't get the call that I wasn't coming.
Oh, dear. Oh, whoa, you would set something up?
Yeah, we'd set up for me to go in and pitch the leadership.
Pitch the leadership, okay. Yeah.
Pitch the leadership. So they're all sitting in a meeting room waiting for me, and Bob doesn't show up.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear, right? So I sent an email. Now, first of all, if you screw up, own it. I sent an email. Yeah. I owe you an apology and an explanation. First off, it is not my nature to not meet my obligations.
Yeah.
I apologize sincerely for wasting your time and everyone else's time on Tuesday afternoon. Here's my explanation. I had emergency surgery on Monday. This is a week after. When I went, oh!
You realized you'd forgotten.
Right.
Oh.
And I was superhuman about it. I'm like, I had emergency spine surgery. I was pretty heavily medicated when I asked my wife to try and reschedule things. And I had missed putting you on the calendar because it happened when I was in crisis. And
yeah, you were hurting.
And I'm sorry.
You were hurting.
And I got an email back that was so kind and so full of grace that they're like, I talked to Eric and he said, this is so out of character for you. I knew something must be wrong.
Yeah.
We're still very interested. We're really sorry for what you're going through. Tell us how we can help, and let's have a conversation once you're back on your feet. So, so great. So I've been reaching out every few weeks, every month or so, and they're in a period right now. They are in palliative care industry, the end of life care industry, and they're in an open period where the inspector general people can come and look at their business and inspect their everything, right?
Yeah, not a good time for them.
Not a good time for them. So just because they've asked for, so this is all the way back to the question.
Yeah.
Just because they've asked for pricing or they've expressed an interest doesn't mean they're ready for you.
Yeah.
I said, hey, circling back, I'm finally back on my feet out of the wheelchair. I'd love to come meet you folks. She says,
not a good time.
We're in our open inspection period and we're just doing everything we can to keep our ducks in a row, but we definitely want to meet after this.
But you don't always get that. You don't always get people that are transparent about what's going on. They're just like, not right now. You just, like, a lot of times people are, they have to walk it up the totem pole. Like, How many
that's
times?
a good phrase.
How many times do you have somebody that just says, "Hey, you're the assistant. Will you?" Sorry, I hit you, and I
No,
hope
I'm
it
fine.
didn't hurt. I need you to just look into this because we as a company need to get headshots, and that's all their task is, and that's all they know to do.
You're going to deal with the underpowered employee. They don't have power one to make a decision.
Exactly.
They've just been tasked with finding somebody that might be able to do the work and then bringing that to the table. Or maybe they want, I want estimates. Go get me estimates. And typically that means 3 to 5, right?
But in your mind, as soon as that phone rings, you either got them or you lost them.
Right. That's our nature.
We dwell
they
on
love
it.
me or they hate me.
We dwell on it so much, and I don't know why, but we as photographers suck at the follow-up. I mean, I'm not even great about it. I have a Mia, so... and
You have a Mia.
Even sometimes...
You are so fortunate to have that woman.
Yeah, I am. And, but even sometimes, like, it's hard for... She's like, what do I do? Like, I've tried to reach out to these people so many times. We had a client this year, it took them 9 months, and we were like, why are we even wasting our time? And they were a joy to work with. They were great sale, everything.
Ready.
I always use the example, like I wanted to put a pool in my backyard at the last house we lived in, and I didn't have the money. B, it was just a thought, but guess what? I went out and started looking
Got some bids.
Asking. Well, not even bids, just started asking around, getting information. But I still haven't built a pool in my backyard. Do I want to?
I get that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I get that in so many ways. This process of making my space, we've been working out of 200 square feet.
Yeah.
For the last 2 years. And I'm like, how did we get 2 years? I was 230 square feet, if you consider my storage racks, right? And then with my spine problems and the wheelchair, we needed to make a space that was safe for me, that I can deal with long term. And I need to insulate the doors because they get super hot in the afternoon.
I know. Oh, not only that, but I noticed the other day, like somebody started the car up, and you could hear.
Yeah. So this morning that car moved across the street because that just started up. I heard it, but it's probably not in the recording. That's my son going to work taking my truck. Oh. Right. Anyway, we're off topic, but this is the beauty of the relationship that we have between you and I, and with our viewers and the other people that form this organization, our members.
Yeah.
Is that we have these conversations that are so informative, like, hey, you know what? That person that didn't call you back, you're not alone.
Nope.
Right?
Not in the least bit.
Not in the least bit. And so I've set a goal. I just told you my goal for the month.
Yeah.
For July. And it's bold considering it's been the first 6 months of the year are almost a wash for me.
Yeah. That's tough.
But we're gonna do $10,000 in headshots this month.
That's great.
And but that doesn't happen by accident. I know a fella that just hit his $100,000 headshots for the month goal.
That's great.
Okay, he's in Washington, D.C., maybe a different climate there. But I'm not going to say, well, I can't do that here, because I can. But he's digging in ways that I don't dig.
Yeah.
Right? But that 7-30-90 thing that Brian taught, we've already identified 2 ways that we're going to go after this money and these clients. And then now we're in that 30-day period where I've got to pull that together and execute it. And then at 90 days, see where we land.
Yeah.
And you said something to me really terrific over the period that we were at the workshops, and you may not even remember. But you were talking about how you get hyper-focused on something for a really long time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I like this. At 90 days, if it hasn't worked for me, I'm going to cut and move on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to keep doing this thing that didn't work for me. If in 90 days it hasn't borne fruit for me, I'm going to ditch it and try something else. And I really like that. So that's something I got out of the workshop. Let's talk about this.
Lunch today?
Yeah, man.
I'm always all about lunch today.
Bring it. Let's talk about it.
So, yeah, we got lunch
this
today.
Is the wrong
Idaho
slide.
Pizza Company.
I'm not sure that they're meeting in Idaho Falls. I haven't talked to those folks out there.
Maybe we could get somebody over on east side to post in the group about whether or not that's happening.
Berna and Tish have been over there helping out, hosting these. I know Dennis and Sherry have been over there hosting these as well. But today, 1 o'clock here in the Treasure Valley, Idaho Pizza on Fairview in Meridian.
Yes.
And we're almost always in that very back room. I try and get there early and pull tables together. Come in, buy your own dang lunch. It's like $10 or less, typically. And it's a buffet.
Food.
Dude, it's a pizza buffet.
The salad is amazing.
The salad bar's great. It's a pizza buffet. I say it's a pizza buffet.
Yeah, it's a pizza buffet.
All right. I love that. So that's really the announcement that I've got. I've got a couple of other things that I might roll as lower thirds as we go through your presentation. No, I won't, because that program's not working.
Lower thirds isn't working.
Okay. So
how many people we got hanging out with us?
That's a great.
Brenda just said hi, guys.
Here. Laquita's here. Let's
guys, if you're on, just hanging out, send us a message. Tell us.
Yeah.
Tell us you're here and that you're watching, and
we pick up, because this is work day.
Yeah. No, I get
middle of the last work day of the week. We pick up a lot of views, like 10 times the viewers
afterwards.
Yeah. So we're grateful for you folks too.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
If you drop comments in after the fact, I'd love to hear them.
And
Jen Alvey's on.
questions. Hi, Jen.
Jen, what's in your bag?
Do you have Jen set up for what's in your bag?
Don't. I have Brenda.
You should get Jen too.
Jen Alvey.
She'll do it.
I need a date. First Friday in August. Think about that. Come in and talk about what's in your camera bag. I would love to have you here. Right. All right. Are you ready?
So we're doing this?
You ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to switch that up into here. I'm going to roll it while you move on over.
Am I going to hear any of it? Or
No. I'll tell you but you'll see it.
Okay.
You'll see it. All right. Here we go. I'm going to roll it.
So as many of you know, I am an on-location photographer. We do typically high school seniors. That's our specialty. But we wanted to share with you what we do with our gear. Because we go from location to location, I want speed and ease of whatever you might call it. We do everything here in the car. So this is my toolbox. That's what I call it. I actually used to use just a couple of metal shelves that I got from, I think, Costco, but a couple years ago I built my own drawer system that fits perfectly in the back of a Suburban or obviously my Yukon Denali. I put a lip on here because everything slides off. In fact, I don't have locks on my drawers, but they do slide open. I have all my gear belt, which I'm going to show more of that here in a bit on a different video, but that's all my lenses and my drone in a pack there. And this is my shoulder harness. We have a couple of light modifiers right here, as well as here, and then another one over here. They slide just kind of nicely up on the side. It doesn't normally always look this good. Getting into the drawers, we use this drawer for our videographer because he's always with us on shoots. This one is a little bit of a mess, but it typically just has a drone, or not a drone, but like a Ronin. And then this is my drawer. This is where I keep all my equipment. It doesn't ever look this good, but I did it just for you. Have a camera here. It's set up to be able to hold a 70 to 200 on the camera. Got a couple of extra charged batteries. I have my 2 Pro Photo lights. I typically only shoot with 1 light on location, but I always have a spare. So we have a Pro Photo B10 Plus, Pro Photo B10, an extra lens, some extra stuff here, some modifiers, as well as like a barn door and just some stuff for if I want to do landscape stuff. And then I have some
quick
Here we go. I have no idea why that just left, but you are live?
Well, I'm going to go over the same stuff in that kit anyway. So I'm actually going to kind of talk about more or less 2 different kits. They're all the same, but I have different things because I travel a lot. I travel a decent amount. And like, for instance, this August, we're headed down to Cabo, August 13th through the 20th to do our senior destination sessions. And so one thing I've gotten really good at is traveling with all my equipment and making sure that it gets there. And
that's a pretty big feat, man.
Yeah, I mean, well, not only that, but like you have to pack, and I have a tendency to overpack crap, and then it hurts when you're walking through an airport with a whole bunch of stuff. I hate going anywhere beautiful that I don't have a tripod unless I want to capture some beautiful landscape images. This is a Benro. It has a really right stuff head on it. It's probably the most expensive head I've ever bought.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I bought the knockoffs of them. I have 4 of them. I love them.
Yeah. But the biggest thing about this, the reason I want it there is because I do love landscape pictures. I don't do enough of them. But my favorite thing about this tripod, I'm kind of jumping ahead, but this comes off.
Oh, it's your monopod.
It's the monopod, but I don't use it for a monopod.
You use it for a light stick.
I use it for a light stick because I have a Mia. So then
I wish you were here.
she's watching, I'm sure. But anyway, then I just put this little top on it, and this is my voice activated light stand.
Yep.
Should actually be a manual. I don't know. What would you put for Mia? And then I put a light on there, and it extends out, and so she can extend.
She can get light where you need it.
Yeah.
And it's super portable. We've done this for years for event stuff, or if you're going to do some location portraits. Folks, I'm going to pop myself on here for a minute. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Let's bring this one on. I'm super interested in what he's got going on here. This light stick concept, folks, if you haven't seen this before,
it works.
Talk to us about it, because this is how you do location portraits on the move. This is really a fantastic.
Yeah, because I never shoot any of my portraits with a tripod.
Or a light stand.
Maybe.
Matter,
Yeah,
right?
I hate light stands.
Yeah.
And the reason behind that is when I first bought my Pro Photos, I stood in picture line for like 4 hours because that was a lot of money to spend on lights. Yeah, stupid. It was so stupid. I had an Alien B600, I think, that worked fine. But you know how many times I got to a location and we had the battery and we had the light and we forgot to put the cord in the car? And so was it worth spending $4,000 on 2 new lights? I got them, had a light stand the first day I had it out there, $4,000 worth of lights. Wind blew, knocked it over. I was like, I'm never doing that again.
Did you cry?
Oh, it was bad.
It was bad. But you know what? Those lights are going to last you your entire career.
Yeah. They should. But I have upgraded to new ones.
Yeah, the 10 plus or whatever.
Because I had the Bs, and they were a lot bigger and heavier, bulkier.
Mm-hmm.
When they got to these, the B10 and B10 plus. So this is my B10, and then this is the B10 plus.
So this is your think tank bag, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put that slide up for just a minute, and let you just talk about it. So you've got a few camera bodies in there.
Yeah. So I have, as far as camera bodies, I'm a little overboard again. I have my R3, which is kind of more or less my backup. It hasn't been used enough.
You know, you just hurt a lot of people. You're like, your R3 is your backup.
Yeah, it's kind of it's
not the first camera you grab.
No, it's not.
Which one do you grab
It's fun
first?
to shoot sports with. I have my R5, which Tim's probably dying about because he's been wanting my R5.
He might have commented to me on that.
This is, he did earlier today. This is probably like my most favorite is between the 85 1.2 and the R5 with the battery grip. And
I don't grip because I'm trying to just go lightweight, and I don't. You've got bigger hands than I do too.
I kind of need it because
I love a vertical grip
because I have the spider grip thing, whatever this is called on there.
You have meatier hands than I do.
And I do. I have bigger hands, so I've tried to do it without it, and my hand doesn't fit in there.
Now that's the practical side.
Yeah. So
of why you do what you do, and this is the whole purpose for being in your kit today.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's that. I also do have
This is the guy who uses an R3 as his backup camera.
I also have the EOS R.
That's a great camera.
Which this one
right now.
This is actually what we're running for our video stuff.
Yeah.
And it's running the 50 millimeter 1.2, the EF with the adapter. And I got to tell you, for any of you guys even considering going to mirrorless, especially in the Canon world, I honestly think that the EF lenses work better and faster adapted
on the R bodies
than they did on the EF bodies. So that's my video / other backup.
We're running an R5 and an R to run this broadcast today, and I can't say enough good things about the R camera itself.
I won't get into it, but yeah,
It
it's
isn't my
pretty
main
impressive.
go-to because the
Yeah.
R5 has the flexibility I need
Yeah.
to solve problems.
Yeah.
But as a secondary camera or for video, like you said, it's stellar.
Yeah, it really is.
cool.
It does a great job. So typically I guess I'm going to the travel stuff right now, and then I'll go back to the car stuff.
Okay.
I run 2 Think Tank bags. I have, both of them are rollers.
Yep.
So this one is the Think Tank, I don't know what it's called.
Look on the
You
back.
know,
It's right above the handle usually.
oh, is it? The Airport Navigator.
Navigator.
And I love it because like I have,
It just looks like a pilot's carry-on.
well, yeah,
Which is-
and it fits really easily and well into, but it also stores a good bit of stuff. Now, when I travel, I always make sure to carry my lights and my cameras and all my batteries. I don't care about underwear. I'll deal with that.
You can buy underwear you're going, but you're not buying Pro Photo batteries.
But I also have this rolling bag, which I can't lift it up and look yet.
That's okay.
Which, because I can pull the backpack straps out of it. So if I'm going carry on, I want to roll it through the airport because the straps on my shoulders kill me. So I can fit 2 Pro Photo lights in here because I always like to have a backup.
Yep.
I carry the B10 Plus and the B10. They both break down here. One of the coolest things about these is I can just pull this off, and it's not much bigger than the lens.
They're like a chunky soup can, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
love that. And then I can fit pretty much a lot of my accessories. I can break cameras down, take things off, fit all my lenses in here, and then in that bag. So between those two, and then I normally pull my harness pack, which I'm going to talk about here in a little bit.
Okay, all right.
It's not in the, but I pull that apart and put it into.
Oh, you do? I was going to ask how you pack that.
It pretty much
that
folds
like going in a
down
suitcase
to
or whatever?
It folds down to almost nothing.
Amazing.
But I also keep the lens pouches. I pull them off, keep my lenses in there, and put them in so that they're double protected.
That's awesome.
As far as that goes. So that's typically
I would guess you never check your camera equipment.
never, never.
Check.
In fact,
You never
the
gauge-
only thing that ends up getting checked is this. Because I put this in and I even normally keep this in my bag, but I put the tripod in my check bag because it's the one thing that
Doesn't really
I can
fit.
live without if I have to.
Yeah.
I used to have, and this is interesting for those of you who do travel. Anytime you get one of those hard rolling golf cases, they only charge you the regular carry-on fee, or not carry-on, but luggage
sports
fee
equipment.
for sports equipment.
Yep.
So you can get the double golf bag thing,
Put your light
or
stand.
the fishing pole one, and you can put your light stands in there, and it protects them, and they won't charge you the
I
extra.
flew with my road bike in
Oh,
a
yeah.
soft-sided road bike bag. You have to disassemble it, wheels off, handlebars off, pedals off. It's like it has to go in the bag a certain way, but it's still enormous.
Yeah.
It's a bike frame sized bag. I flew Delta with that, and they charged me $35 a regular, like it was a regular thing.
The one thing that I've heard is that they don't like, if they lose your stuff, they don't really give you anything extra for the expensive equipment. That's why I don't do it. The other thing that I always carry, this is typically in my car. It's typically in my, without question, this goes with me. I always carry a plug strip and an extension cord because I have a lot of batteries I'm plugging in.
Right.
That's the one thing you're not seeing is my
that
battery chargers.
What that is?
So this is actually just cords, like extra cords, plugs, battery, like extra battery.
That's stuff you need to power stuff.
Yeah, power stuff, but also like if I have the battery packs that you can recharge phones on and stuff.
Right.
And I got another one that I'll get into with that here in a bit.
I had one in my bag and I don't think I even talked about it. Like I carry a big flat one in my bag because, man, just to be able to power your stuff, it's so important.
So along with that, because we do video on all of our sessions, I do carry my wireless mic kit.
Okay.
I have 2 of these, all the accessories so that they plug into everything I need to, phones, whatnot.
Nice.
With that, I also oftentimes have my Tascam recorder, so I can plug it into that or into there. I don't carry this in my bag so much, but I keep these in my car, my binoculars, in case I want to check something out. Because I'm a photographer and I see things. Most of the time, I never pull over to take a picture. Because I'm just.
That's because you're driving 102 miles.
I'm terrible about that. So, of course, extra batteries. And I also like to carry a GoPro. So.
Which GoPro are you running?
I think this is the 8 or something. 7.
I need to add one.
Yeah, that's great. I actually have a mount in my car, so I can mount this up in the car so we get fun like video of us talking and laughing in the car. So, yeah, it's a fun one to have. So, as far as like the only modifiers that I ever take on the road, like to like Cabo and stuff, is this Magnum. Profoto Magnum modifier. It increases my light by 2 stops. So I can shoot this B10 250 watt second in hard daylight with this thing and get incredible overpowered.
And that's,
so
I've got Magnum reflectors for my 300 watt second lights. They're actually on the sides. They can't see them, but you can. I've got the Magnum reflectors with a tiny little direct mount that Godox uses.
Yeah. Works great.
Unreal.
That's
like
awesome.
that's a daylight overcomer.
Yeah.
Just like you're describing there. Like, so this speaks to just knowing your equipment and knowing its capabilities and knowing that if you take the right things, you don't need to. You
don't have to take all
everything.
the things. Yeah.
Right.
So and that's one thing that we've learned. One thing that we always shoot with is this Westcott Rapid Octa. This is I believe a 36-inch one. Super quick and easy to set up. I shoot with this. This is always in the car with me.
There's one hanging here for the.
So I think it's actually bigger. It might be a 48-inch.
Okay.
So I think it's a little bit bigger than that one.
I use a 48-inch in my location bag.
Yeah, so I have that one, but if I'm going to Cabo and I don't want to pack this one, we will actually take this one, which is like a 24-inch.
I've had that one. Before they went to the Rapid thing, I had that bag. I had that for the...
And it has this nice bag. It's just easy to carry. This is easy to throw in my suitcase.
And you can work it as a beauty dish, or you can work it as a small Octa. That's good stuff.
So those two are always in my car.
You got a 5-in-1 there too?
I have a 5-in-1 here, but I don't ever use it. But it's always in my car just for if I want a diffuse light, if I want some balance light. A lot of people
overlook that center panel.
Yeah.
Right?
I love that thing. And even using the diffuser panel for
as
bounce is pretty incredible.
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of this is probably one of the oldest photo gear pieces I have. So I have had this one for a long time. Not so much sentimental because I never use the damn thing. Oh, darn.
But it's always with you, right?
But it's always with me.
This
I have
our
it.
Show we can say what we want, right?
You saw my box in the back of the car. There's just enough space on the side that I slide this up on the side. So that's that. So getting into the car, as you could see, I had my 2 Profoto lights in there. I also do always carry hard drives when I go on the road. These are
just little portable
solid
SSDs.
state portable hard drives that are amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like 1-2 terabyte and back that stuff up. Another thing that I always keep in my equipment.
So let me ask you, are you backing up? Do you just drop a card in those?
No, those are, you plug them into the computer.
So you take a laptop.
So I have my laptop right in there.
In the other bag.
In the other bag. I always put Apple AirTags into my bags.
That's so smart.
What's crazy, and this is the most bizarre thing.
Do you charge those?
No, they take the CR235 battery or something, the little battery, they go in there, and you can buy them super cheap on Amazon. This actually fits in the battery grip on the camera.
So you could just drop it in.
You can put it in there, and you always have an AirTag on your camera. Is that not crazy?
You mean it fits without the battery?
It fits inside, like you know how it has the slide-in spot here, and it has a little spot to stick the lid that you normally put on there?
Oh.
That fits in there.
Not the battery compartment, but the memory card compartment.
No, the battery compartment.
You're confusing me.
Okay. I'm going to show you real quick. I don't know if this will actually come all the way. Okay, I'll show you guys. So we have the battery grip on the R5 right here. So this little part right here, it actually slides. I have the other piece in there, so I can't do it right now, but Slides
where
right in
the
there.
door attaches. If you don't,
So if you just take the door off, which
your AirTag-
sucks because then you lose that door and you're hosed. But yeah, it fits an AirTag in there.
That's genius.
Isn't that crazy?
Dude. That's genius.
So other than that, like I'll slip them into spots that are like people wouldn't check. Now these will make noise if they're away from you for too long, and which is probably a good thing anyway. I'll stick it in underneath something that almost like hiding drugs.
Yeah. A little contraband in there.
Those are, I love these. I have these in my car. I have them on my keys. I have them on my wallet. Have them everywhere. So love that.
My wife just said Bob's going to be buying AirTags now. That's a possibility.
You will. Another thing that I carry with my microphone kit is this. It is a shotgun mic with a dead kitty on it.
Yep, dead cat.
So this works amazing.
We have to explain. The dead cat is the fuzzy thing.
Yeah, so this fuzzy thing, it just keeps the wind from making a lot of noise.
You and I are really, really
nerds.
Very similar in a lot of ways.
Oh, you do have one. Why haven't you tried it on that?
I don't like miking instructors with it.
Okay.
But I do typically run this on a camera.
Yeah.
In case my radio mics, the lav mics fail.
So
I just drop cords all over the place over here.
That's
all
right.
okay.
So that's kind of that. In my car, the couple of extra things that I carry, I do have an additional reflector that fits my old grids.
Oh, okay.
But I also actually have the Pro Photo Grid system, which is quite amazing. It's just this little thing. It fits the whole thing right in there. Pops onto the end of my Pro Photo. I can also gel it.
Grid system you use, it is essential.
Yeah. I also can set gels on it with the gel packs.
Brilliant.
So that's my
So
that's
you
my
have color
grids.
balancing gels, and you have some creative
Color balancing gels. Lindsay blew my mind with the gel thing. Lindsay Adler. So that was a good thing.
We had Lindsay Adler speaking at our convention this year,
Yeah.
and as a pre-con class, and that was worth
incredible.
twice as much as we charged for it. She's just to spend time with her and be in the same space with her.
She was down to earth.
She's
too.
superhuman,
Really cool.
like not superhuman like dun, dun, dun.
No, I think she kind of is
very
actually
human, and incredibly talented, and she's a girl nerd, which I really appreciate. Right?
Yeah, I loved it. She was all about business. I love talking business with her. It was fun. I have a barn door. I almost never ever use it, but I carry it in the car.
Yeah.
That's just a Pro Photo.
I used barn doors for the presentation this last week, and just to control light. So folks, the lighting game isn't really a mystery. It is for a lot of folks.
It's hard. I still struggle. I've been doing it for a long time.
It's about control. I mean, it's just about putting the light where you want it and keeping it off of what you don't want it on. And who was talking about that? Was it you?
No, it was Brian.
It was
and
Brian.
This was like, I don't know why I've never thought of this. In 25 years, I've been a photographer. I've been shooting off-camera flash for the last 10 years. I don't profess to be amazing at it. He talked about it as if it were water and spilling. And like I've heard the term spilling light, all that stuff. I've never thought of it as water.
So if you have a wet backdrop, your gel is not gonna work.
So that
You
was
need a
something
dry
that Lindsay
backdrop.
taught.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even so, just the whole concept of water spilling onto things
Which
or
is
light
why
spilling onto
feathering
things.
and grids and barn doors are so important.
Yeah.
Right?
It is
Flags.
incredibly.
I use dollar store foam core as flags all
We
the
went
time.
and bought a pooper scooper after Lindsay was here. And used it. Remember she used a poop scoop?
She did use a poop scoop as a light modifier.
Yep.
Like a litter box cleaner outer scoop.
Yeah.
Did you really?
I did. We tried it. We were like, we're trying all this. And we did all of our influencer headshots gridded on a gray backdrop this year.
Yeah.
Or not gridded, gelled on a gray backdrop.
Awesome sauce.
Multiple different colors because we originally had different. Like for my passion, sorry, I just touched the mic. With landscape stuff, I do always carry my tripod and my Lee filter set with a neutral density polarizing filter, and then all
so
my.
I asked Kim, what neutral density filter do you like?
I have so these are all slide in.
Oh, they are. Okay,
Yeah.
So you use a frame.
Yes, I'm going to show you two that are quite amazing.
Bring it up, and I'm always interested in this.
So this one is, if I can even get it open, apparently.
Here, hand it to me, and you can keep talking about your other.
So this is a 10-stop neutral
Holy
density.
cow.
So like
So
if
do you
I'm in a bright.
focus and then drop that in? Because you can't see through this.
Yes. Sometimes you can, but yeah, I have to pre-focus but like putting it on like a waterfall or something like that, it's just really cool.
10-stop neutral density filter, and if you want to give that smooth, like you just said, the waterfall, if you want to get that smooth, like cloudy water look,
like frothy,
you have to kill the daylight.
Yep. To drag that shutter.
Do it. So the question that I asked him about this is, do you pre-focus and then slide this? Anyway, back
then
to
I then I also have
you, Sam.
I have all the like gradiated and whatnot filters from Lee. This was ridiculous. This was about $1,000 kit, $1,200 kit. But I bought it right before I went to California with my family, and I was like, I have to have it. And that was when I took that picture of the boat, and I used it for that boat that I got 100 on, which was pretty stoked.
So it paid for itself.
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
right,
in happiness, no green merits from it yet.
So there's, generally speaking, I'm going to come back. Generally speaking, there's two types of filter systems. There's a screw-on that screws into the threads on the end of your lens, and then there's a slide-in or drop-in filter system where you attach a frame to the end of the camera and slide that in. Do you have that? Is that what
you know, I thought I did. So on our video set, we run the, Annie turned me onto this, the Polar Pro McKinnon, Peter McKinnon. It's a 2 to 6 stop. Variable. And it really is incredible. The whole setup is about $280, I think. But I bought the step ring so that you can, this is a step ring, it's like $6, so I can run it on multiple different, I bought it for the 82 millimeter.
And then you can step that down to the
But I can step it down to the 77. The case that it comes in, like it's got its own case, it kind of screws, like so the lid comes off and then the back of it screws onto it, so it's very well protected, very nice. But we use that for our video stuff, video setup. We've used it, if you look at any of our video stuff, it's been used for the last couple of years. We just got a new one for Dylan. Those are great though. But that's the hard thing with screw-on filters is like if you're shooting with different lenses, you have to have a different one for each one, or you have to have those step downs.
Rings. Yeah.
So, as far as lenses, I've always got the 85 1.2, the 50 1.2. I made my own stickers. Bob wants to touch
this is the only lens that I don't have that I want.
It is. So the EF50 I really struggled with, because you would miss focus so easily because it was just so soft.
Yeah.
This one is
spot on.
Knocks it out of the park. It's incredible.
Same thing going from the EF 85 1.2 to the RF 1.2. With the RF system with the in-body stabilization coupled with the lens stabilization.
I almost sometimes feel like I can't get as like that.
It's creative.
That soft bokeh look as much.
I have a photograph hanging in my home. I have a photograph of my wife hanging in my home where the camera completely missed focused. And she's just this soft focus form.
Oh, really? That's cool.
I love it. And it was a total accident. Like happy accident. I'm not on camera, but this is the only lens that I don't have that I want. There's a lot of great glass out there, but this is nice. It's a little bigger than I'd like it to be, but
it's not as bad. So here's the difference. There's the EF.
Okay, wow.
And that's a beefcake, yeah.
Take this over and show them because you're on camera.
Okay.
All right.
So this is the EF. It has the RF adapter, and that's the RF. Now it is heavier. It is a bigger lens. But the sexiness that comes from this is just incredible.
Yeah.
This works excellent for video. Even the nifty 50, that $100 plastic thing that I have sitting in my closet, is really incredible for video.
I need to pick one of those up. I sold all of my EF lenses, not realizing that my film camera, my EOS 1V,
oh shoot,
is the EF mount. So I don't even have a lens I can use on
I have this EF, and then I have the 17 to 40 EF.
Okay.
And I think I have a 24 to 105. I probably need to buy another one to find out that I have it. I also, one of my favorite lenses, I love this with seniors, just to get really wide, the 15 to 35.
That's a terrific lens. I've got the 14 to 35 variant of that because I never shoot
Yeah.
portraits with it, I'm shooting architecture with it. I just had this conversation with Scott yesterday.
Yeah.
Because she had a lens go down, and she's like, I'm on this body. What lens do I need to buy? Tell me now. And I just went to Picture Line and sent her the link to what she needed to buy, and she bought it. And because she shoots real estate and architecture, she bought the 14 to 35.
Oh, okay,
but
yeah.
That is such an interesting creative lens.
Yeah.
I used that.
I love it.
I just recently used mine. I'm going to put me in the corner here. I just recently used my 14 to 35. I was shooting something completely out of character for me. I was shooting a birthday party for a 95-year-old woman.
Yeah.
And but the 14 to 35 captures the room.
Yep. Sure does. And more.
Yeah. Right. You definitely have to crop to what you want out of it.
Yeah.
At that kind of wide angle. But that 24 to 35 range is really a sweet range for working with people in unique environments.
That's the 24 to 70 is the only lens I don't have that I wanted to get. I don't really need it, but I've been waiting until the 28 to 70 is out. Well, is back out.
The F2, you mean?
The F2.
Oh yeah.
But that lens is big around. It's bigger than that.
I went with the 24 to 105 in the RF series because when I work an event, that is such a versatile lens. Like
I'm just a snob.
The argument is, oh, I really want that extra light, but I'm like, well, I've got plenty of ISO range, and
absolutely.
I'm shooting events like corporate events, presentations. I'm shooting the room, and I'm going to run my 70 to 200 on one body and my 24 to 105 on another, and I'm covered. And maybe I'm going to put my 14 to 35 in a pouch, and there's nothing I can't create with that in that environment.
Absolutely. So this is my last lens. Oh, I didn't put the cap on this one. 70 to 200, way smaller than it used to be. And I thought, like, I remember when I went through a time, I wanted everything bigger and bulkier just because it looked better.
Right.
Then I went to Sony, and I was like, okay, I kind of like this small, but Sony equipment fell apart on me. Went back to Canon, and you really got it in my head, the whole telescoping thing, but it's
not a problem.
No, it's an incredible lens.
The trombone effect of the new lenses.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the compactness of that lens.
Yeah, so do I. And it looks good with the lens head on it and everything.
It's terrific. You've got a great kit, man.
So I've got a couple more things.
Great.
I'm going to share. This is. Go ahead.
And I don't want to miss your favorites, and I think you've talked about them already. I'm going to throw that.
I'm about to get to those. I think.
Let's do it then.
I think, yeah.
And when you.
Well, I hope. What was on my favorites list again?
It's your low pro harness and belt.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to get to that.
All right.
Okay, so this is one of the last things I keep in my car. This is a cheap Walmart Elf.
Like Rouge Brush. Like
Rouge Brush. The Elf HD powder, it's $9.
Yes.
Knocks down highlights, like you see how I'm sweating and getting like little hot spots. That is amazing out on a shoot, especially during sunny, hot days.
We use rice paper. I've got it over there.
That works great too. The HD powder, just dab it on, and
that's brilliant.
It's excellent. Okay, so let me get to the good stuff, I guess. So that's
all good stuff.
Yeah, I know, right? So this is my low pro harness.
I'm going to put your slide up
belt kit
so they can see what we're talking about here.
This is basically like a.
Why don't you put it on?
This is like your old field vest. Now, the funniest thing, you know how we always joke about in PPI, we're trying to get away from the whole like stodgy camera vest thing.
Yep. This is the new camera vest.
Well, this is basically like a camera vest, but I had to laugh so hard. We got to Tahoe last week for a shoot, and Dylan, my new video guy, pulls out an old camera vest, and he rocks it all week, and now he rocks it all the time when we're out shooting. He's like, I got everything where I need. Anyway, cracks me up.
There was a reason they worked, right?
Yeah, right. So, but I've just built my own. The Spider holster belts are a huge popular thing. I love the Spider system, so I run Spider on all my cameras, and as long as I don't miss it.
Yep.
But what I've done, me too, one time, dropped my camera in the dirt. What I did was I took one of the beefier ones that had the belt, and I mounted it to my low pro
rig.
belt.
Your belt.
This Low Pro belt has all the quick releases for all of my lens pouches. So I have all my lenses right here within arm's reach. I have this, which is another Low Pro. This actually carries my trigger for my Pro Photo and a couple extra batteries.
Great.
I can hook like this in the bag. I can hook it here, but I have a Mia for that. And guys, don't discount I'm saying that I have a Mia for that. I value her greatly. She makes my life easy. I have the Think Tank, whatchamacallit, in here. I also have an extra
Allen key.
Allen wrench
Yeah.
in there. On here is one of the coolest things I found at a show. It has a flat head, it has an Allen wrench, and it's also just a carabiner, and it has a bottle opener.
Essential.
Yeah, essential stuff. Over here, I have an extra one here.
Yep.
The other day, we were hiking at a waterfall down in Tahoe, and when I get into tight spots, my camera slaps against rocks and stuff. So I'll just pull it off here, slide it in up here, so it's a little bit safer as far as that goes.
You know what I love about this, Sam, is that, well, first of all, if you haven't seen, some of Sam's behind the scenes video,
She does an amazing job with that.
you really should, because Sam's out there working. She's watching, by the way. She says thanks, dude.
She is amazing.
You're out there working. You're out there hustling. You're hiking. You're like, I mean, you're one of the hardest working photographers. This isn't patronizing. Physically hardest working photographers that I know.
Well,
right?
thank you.
And you've built a system that works well for you,
Yeah.
that accommodates the things that are important in your workflow. And folks, that's a pretty big deal. Like, that's a big name in the game, is making sure that what you've got works for what you want to accomplish. Laquita asked me a couple weeks ago, "Oh, should I buy the R5?" I said no. Like, the camera's not your limiting factor.
I could live with the R. I lived with it for a year before I bought the R5, and I was actually plenty happy with it. And I could still be shooting it.
Yeah.
And it kind of actually is what made the whole, I felt like an idiot for buying the R3, but I just couldn't have the means to purchase an R3 and not have one. Okay, really, it's because Dave at Pictureline called me the day after Thanksgiving. He's like, "So I have one here with your name on it." And I was like, "I'm not going to." "Okay, fine, here's my money."
Take my money.
So I think the last little thing is I carry a drone in this little pouch on the back of my bag. Carry extra batteries in there, and I have my DJI drone. And have you ever seen this light meter?
The Lumo. Yes, I have.
So that's one of my.
My question is does it work?
Yeah, surprisingly. Like, I always feel the necessity to put it up against a real light meter, but let's be real. This seasoned photographer doesn't really know how to use a light meter well. I suck at it. I bought this because it was cool. I don't ever use it, but I do use it to check like color temperature, because I shoot on Kelvin a lot.
Okay.
So I'll look at that just to see. Now I'm pretty.
So it's also a colorimeter.
Yeah, it's like, it does a lot.
So that attaches to your iPhone. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so it just attaches to the iPhone.
I have had a chance to pair that side by side with the light meter, and
didn't think it was as.
It's fine.
Oh yeah,
it's fine.
I thought it was.
And really, what you're looking for is, if you're using a light meter. So we use a light meter a lot in what we do, because if I'm shooting 100 headshots, they need to be consistent, and if it's spread over multiple days or multiple locations, we're looking for that true consistency. But really, the light meter is going to get you in the ballpark to give you and then you're going to season it. Then you're going to flavor it, right?
Yeah,
the way that you want.
If you stick to the conformity of everything inside the box, it's just not as good as being able to push those envelopes. Do you want me to share my app stuff?
Yeah, I think you need to reconnect to the Miracast, and then I'd love to have you talk about that. And then we'll wrap with who's up next week.
Sweet.
But let me get your Miracast up into the preview. I'm ready for you.
Okay, so what I'm going to share here is the one other piece of my kit that I'm never without is obviously my phone. I do a ton on my phone.
So clear that screen and go to your home.
Okay, so, but I want to share 2 apps or 3 apps that are my absolute live and die by. I love to have these. The first one I'm going to share with you is the Sun Scout. So as you can see, if I go back out of here, top right corner of that, it's the blue and orange one with the arrow pointing up to the right. That's called Sun Scout. And this one, what it does is it shows me where the sun is going to hit the horizon. Okay.
Oh my gosh. And at what time?
And at what time?
Where and at what time? So you're literally pointing your camera at, like right now, you're pointing
at the horizon.
Camera,
I'm pointing at your garage door,
which is west facing.
Yep. So it's gonna hit the horizon right at about. So if I'm up in the mountains and it's gonna drop earlier, I can see where it's gonna hit and when it's gonna drop. Because like if I'm in McCall and I'm trying to get a sunset shot, it says it's gonna set at 8:45, but it's actually gonna set at like 8:20.
So if you aim that at me, when's the sun gonna set on me?
2 a.m. I don't know. I'm not sure what to go with that.
It's dark.
So, so anyway, so that's the Sun Scout. Love that one. My other favorite one, and this one is incredible. This is called the Photographer's Emeritus or something like that. Let's look back just to make sure I get it. TPE is all it's.
I think it's the
so
Photographer's Emeritus.
This is incredible because I know Boise really well. I know the Treasure Valley really well. But if a customer says to me, I really want a sunset over the city, and that's their thing. I want sunset with the city directly in the background. And I say, do you want like the city with the sun setting behind the city, or do you want the city with sun setting to the right of the city? Do you want the city with sun setting to the left of the city?
Or do you want the gold
exactly
on the cityscape?
So what I can do is I can scroll in here and I can come down to downtown Boise and I can tap there. And what it shows me is the gold line is my sunrise. The orange line underneath the blue on the left is my sunset. So I know that the gray line is my direct towards the city. That would put the sunset right behind the city. So I could actually go over here, find a spot in one of these subdivisions. I'm going to drop this.
Does this work in horizontal mode? Like, can you turn the phone and have
let's
it
see.
convert?
Sure does.
Oh, dude.
So let's just say like I want to go up here to the mesa, and there's a spot that I shoot up here all the time. And I want to see, okay, that's probably not going to be, maybe that's not the mesa. I'm sorry. I showed you the wrong spot. This is where I go at this time of the year to shoot with the sunset either right behind. So it shows it's going to set almost right directly behind the city. So I know, I'm like, okay, because I can't tell you how many times I've been like, okay, I got this great spot for sunset, and it's over here right behind Military Reserve. Let's go. Where's Military Reserve? Let's see, that would be this side of Camel's Back, right?
Yeah.
I can't think. So let's just, for fun, let's just tap here.
Well, you're at Camel's Back, so you're right there.
Okay. Either way. Oh, there's the VA. So it would be right behind there, right?
It is, yep.
Okay. So I want to shoot the city, and I get up there to get a sunset, and the city is over here, and the sun's setting clear over there.
So now the sun's not setting.
So now it's not really in the whole concept of the shot I want to get.
This is genius.
So
again,
love
I
this
think
app.
It's called the Photographer's Emeritus.
Yeah. If you just look up TPE.
And these aren't, some of these aren't free apps, but they're
I think they cost maybe a little bit, maybe $9.99 forever.
So, right.
But
$10 forever.
It saved me so much
at a coffee shop.
Right? It
That
saved me
muffin
so
and I'm
much.
done.
So,
well, that's amazing, man. Why don't you join? Are you done?
yeah.
Okay, why don't you come on back over here?
I think I got everything.
All right, I'm going to bring us back up. I hope they saw enough of your truck mount video. I'm not sure why that conked out.
You know, honestly, you could put it on YouTube and
Okay.
just
Maybe I'll just drop that on our channel.
yeah, just drop it on the channel
I'll
and
do
they
that.
can check it out.
I will definitely do that. That's totally worthwhile.
Because I think those are fun things for people to be able to stumble across
Well,
and find.
shorts are the new thing.
Yeah, they
right?
are.
YouTube shorts.
They certainly are.
So we've had a good group. Hey, Mike Collins is here today.
What's up, Mikey?
He shouted out at us a while ago. This is, man, the feedback that we're getting from our membership, from our viewers, about what we're doing with these and just talking about what's in your bag and why you carry it and having you show the app. Like, I've been in classes where they've talked about it.
Yeah.
I don't have it. But you know what? This would be so useful for my commercial architecture, right? So I'm buying that.
Absolutely.
I'm buying that. Don't tell Bri.
She's not paying attention, right?
She is. She says all in due time when we're talking about the 50 lens. Anyway, today, in less than an hour, we're going to be over at Idaho Pizza Company. Let's see if I'll put that up one more time. I have to change the...
that was something else we started when we started doing the lives.
Yeah. So...
and it's been good. I look forward to that every month.
We're going to finish up here, and then we're going to get cleaned up, shut my lights off, and we're going to go over to the pizza shop. I don't know about Idaho Falls. I don't know if they're meeting there today. They would already be meeting, so maybe somebody can shout at us. I just, honestly, with the workshop this week and then following the workshop with a multi-hour session the next day in studio, I didn't even have time to unpack. All we did was grab cameras and lenses.
Well, and you're still not 100% yet.
And, well, thanks. No, but you're right.
Well,
no, you're absolutely right. Like, I can do, but then I need rest.
Yeah.
Right? That's just the way it is. So next Friday, we've got Cary Grant coming in.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Next Friday is July 8th. I can't even.
Yeah.
I can't even. So let's say our goodbyes.
Okay.
And I'm going to put this slide up while we just chat it out. Folks, have a great week. Have a great weekend. It's Independence Day weekend, and that's kind of a big deal.
Happy 4th of July.
Enjoy your extra day off this weekend and celebrate our independence as Americans. And come see us for lunch. We're going to be over at Idaho Pizza Company just before the 1 o'clock hour, and get your chow and join us, and we'll chat for half an hour, an hour and a half. It's usually
maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, it just happens that way. All right, everybody, great to see you on with us today. I hope you enjoyed looking at Sam's kit, and we'll see you next week with Cary Grant.
Take care.